Sure, I'm Nick and this is Sarah and Trinity and baby Scarlett. We live in Tullabudgera Valley. We moved here 2 years ago from Melbourne and I'm a bricklayer. Sarah is a full-time mother and housewife. We've been married nearly 12 years, Sarah and I, this year. Trinity's 5.5 and Scarlett's nearly 3. Scarlett requires full-time care. She's fed via a plug in her tummy and she has a continual feed all night. So we have to make sure we're at home ready to put her to bed.
At 7:30.
At 7:30, so we don't go out with her. And she has 3 milk feeds during the day, which we have to be very careful of, not to move her. She's very sensitive to vomiting.
The technical name for it is chromosome 13 ring syndrome. It's basically just a chromosome disorder affecting the 13th chromosome. Basically part of it got lost when she was conceived, so affects her whole body. She's missing part of her brain. She only has one eye. She's deaf. She has no suck or swallow mechanism, so she has to be fed through a tube in her tummy. She needs oxygen, and she's basically severely disabled mentally and physically. When the hard situation comes, I make the choice not to dwell on that, but to put some praise music on or to read my Bible and just pray regardless. It's amazing that it just becomes easier to cope with. Like it's helpful for me to praise God through the situation because it gets me out of it. And you know, you are faced with 2 choices: to dwell on the negative and it just becomes harder, or to praise God regardless and it becomes easier somehow. So the right choice is to praise God regardless. So she is made in His image. He doesn't make mistakes. There's a reason for Scarlett being like this, and you know, she is just so peaceful and so happy that we've prayed for her healing that many times. And who's to say that those aren't part of that healing? Like, if we hadn't have prayed, what would she have been like originally? So we thank God all the time for how happy she is. I mean, people comment all the time about how peaceful, like they just sense peace from Scarlett. And, you know, so there's good despite the bad. So
our faith is very important to us, and we want God to say that well done, that we were honouring Him through the tough times and putting Him first and trusting in Him. Hi, we're Nick and Sarah. Welcome to our world.